everyone's being mean to you, Mano, but I have to say, you look very handsome, sir. You look very dashing.
Jenny said you look better.
My mommy said I look handsome too, so we're all good.
I'm with your mommy. Very handsome boy puddle.
What? You're with her?
Oh my! Please, Mano.
She told me she was going to the movies. What she do with Ziggy? Okay.
This hopefully this Skype call doesn't end up like the last one we had, Mano.
Please, Mano.
Whoa, who's this like 16-year-old?
Oh.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? If I was 16.
You look
Kappa.
so much younger. That's crazy.
I know it's weird, but oh well.
That looks good.
Ah, thanks.
All right.
We had a
so
memorial
big.
to you in the pre-show, Mano, to the
really?
loss of Mano from the community.
I haven't checked chat, but I'm assuming it's all just forehead.
Not
Sure,
just
so-
a little bit. Oh, there it goes. I just had to get someone to make that Mano forehead emote for me. I have the picture ready and everything. Should be epic.
All right. So you want to kick off the first question there, Ziggy? Mano, I guess you can
Yeah, sure thing.
tag along.
So, guys, if you want to ask questions during the Q&A, me and whoever else will do our best to copy-paste them. Start them with @ and who you're addressing them to, or @ all, and preferably with a Q&A at the start so we know. And hopefully I'll be able to grab them amongst the foreheads. But the first question comes in from Black Aegis, and he asks, for everyone, with all the recent complaints about lack of risk versus reward in the hardcore challenge leagues, do you feel GGG should revisit the stance and design philosophy that has been stated over and over since the first leagues back in the beta days by Chris Wilson, among others, in both written and audio format, that SC challenges are intended to be risk versus reward, while hardcore challenges are intended to be all risk simply for the sake of challenge?
Well, I'm gonna start off by saying that I think that this league is. I don't really think there's much risk versus reward. I think it's proper in this league. Like you can. It really depends on how you look at it. I've gotten really good drop rates from the bosses themselves. I know a lot of people say they haven't had success. I think if I have a magic finder in my group, I am guaranteed at least one unique on every actual Beyond boss I kill. I've gotten insane map quantity drops from the Beyond bosses themselves. Abazoth, I'm not that much of a man yet, so I really couldn't say much there. But in terms of risk versus reward, I actually think it's very good this league, in the Beyond League itself.
The heck?
Yeah, with a little bit of rarity, it's just like an extra boss. But I don't really understand the need for that much more risk in hardcore. It's not necessarily why I play it, just to get more risk than what standard gets. It's just that added fear of dying just playing the normal game. I don't feel like we should be treated specially because we're playing hardcore by any means.
I agree with that, yeah.
I agree, but I just feel that sometimes you'll kill a really dumpy mob and you'll get 3 yellows, and then you'll kill a Beyond pack and you're like, well, there's a bunch of blues. I mean, I guess that's just RNG has to do with it, but they still feel slightly underwhelming with the loot. But that's just me QQing here. Salty.
But if you have good clear speed and you're doing maps, it's extra. It's like extra quantity. You do get more items. So it's just free stuff. If you can take on these mobs, these bosses, you shouldn't really be complaining. But if your character is bad and you can't do it, then I'm sure you'll complain.
All right, let's get the next question going. I don't want to spend too much time on the same one.
From Unsung Cesspool, with so many skills having been buffed in 1.2, which of the buffed abilities are you surprised hasn't had more builds made for it? I sort of talked about this in the podcast already. I said Summon Raging Spirits. I feel like I'm most surprised isn't more covered. Do you have any guys that you're surprised isn't there more? Guessed Mano.
Okay.
Shockwave Totem. Shockwave Totem is definitely underplayed right now. I'd like to see more people using it. Personally.
I agree with that.
Really?
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Have you not been to Pox's channel? Hey, Pox, what do you have to
Pox
Shockwave Totem? I'm
Pox
playing
is
it right
playing
now.
it, but all right. I didn't see
Really?
many
People are
playing
that?
it, though.
There's a
They're just
lot
playing
of people
solo,
playing
maybe.
it.
I've gotten a lot of people pissed off at me. Hey, Pox, can you tell your people to stop playing this damn spec in parties while the mobs are desyncing? I get like 5 of those PMs a day, so I can't tell if sarcasm or cap a face. I have no clue. I don't know.
I would say Ice Nova. I mean, I seen maybe Rise play Ice Nova, and it was actually really good clear speed. It got a buff.
Oh, dude, one of my viewers linked me his build. Like, I was like, I don't know, it's probably not that good. But if you got a video, just show it to me. And he actually made a video, and he was decimating mobs. He was running, I think he had Ice Nova on like double curse, and his main Ice Nova as well. So he would just pop one first, the entire screen double curse, and then he would pop his Echo Ice Nova and one-shot the screen. And bosses, beyond bosses or mobs would die at the same rate too. Like a map boss on Strand got 2-shot, I think, with Ice Nova, and with a big AoE too. So it's definitely viable.
Are you?
And
Do
that
you
was
think
just a
it's?
5-lane carcass, I think.
Do you think it's viable to fight Piesto with it now?
PS? Yeah, you can do a theme spec if you want to. Go ahead. Yeah, do it for the kids, man.
Do it for the kids. Ziggy D
This
missed
game
that
will
one.
Gee.
All right, next question.
This one comes in from Vinkentho what do you think of the additional unique from Strongbox's mod not being based on the type of box? So like being able to get from flask boxes and stuff, I guess? Flask boxes?
I'd be
I don't know,
disappointed
I
like,
personally-
if I got a shitty box with that. I want it to be like open.
Yeah, me too. I like getting the flask, and I'm like, holy shit, it's an actual useful flask lockbox. It's got a unique in it.
Yeah.
I've had like 3 of those. I'm like,
Yeah,
yes,
we found
I
a
always
green one.
transmit them now, just for the chance
You
at a
always
unique.
gotta transmute. That's a rule.
Yeah.
Unwritten rule.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. So I love it. I love it.
I got another question here. Willie, with the mana cost reduction, what happened to the return of elemental hit? It's like basically the same mana cost as Power Siphon, I think. The damage, I don't know. I feel like if you use Power Siphon, you get the, isn't it like 25% multiplier? I think Power Siphon might actually be better once you get enough LE damage. They need to rebuff LE hits static damage, I think. But I'm not
That's
sure.
it.
I haven't tried it yet. But I really do think it's viable now because you can actually cast it. Or you can actually totem it without having
Always
50%
key.
of your mana unreserved. Yeah. I think it's probably viable, but I would level up Power Siphon and Elemental Hit and see which one suits your character better. If you have a lot of percent weapon LE, or if you have a lot of flat LE. So that's my answer for that.
Wow.
Where are you
question
posting the
for Greendude.
questions?
He's got them in a Google Doc.
I'll give you
It's
guys
in
a
the
quick
bottom
look,
here?
yeah.
You guys like docs?
We have some
Google Docs?
We're on the other Google Docs, and we got some questions here too.
Oh,
All right, fire it up.
All right, so I didn't get the names of the people. I'm sorry, I forgot. But someone asked how eye level works in PvP. So eye level 36 gear. There's like basically it's because it's really confusing to some people, but level requirement and eye level is completely different. So, for example, an item that's eye level 36, it can never roll any affix whatsoever that will level up the item
increase the requirement for equipping. Yeah.
beyond 28. So a good level 28 item is eye level 36 or less. So you have to really understand that part. So a good place to level or to farm rather is like Piety or Dominus in normal. I think Piety's like if you have like a rarity guy and you want to farm PvP items, I think Piety is my favorite one. There's like Loot Explosion, and you just pick up the items that are level 28 requirement, and you know that they won't ever roll something that you can't wear. So that's a good place.
What's
to
the item
farm.
level of Piety? Isn't she like 37 or like 1 too much? She might get unlucky with the lightning rolls. I can't remember.
Yeah, is she 36 or 37? I don't know. You're making me hesitate. I don't know.
Okay, because I think I figured out that I just rather like leap slam mud flats because you can't get unlucky there. But yeah, I've done a lot of Piety and you do get a lot of loot there.
Yeah.
So, in terms of low level doing, the only thing that you really want to be over 36 then would be uniques for your 6 link, if you're using a unique then.
That's right. Remember that you can get a 5 link at eye level 35. So 5 link rares are possible. You can also
But a new-
technically.
Yeah, go ahead. You're gonna say it now. Sorry.
You can technically get a 6 link, and that's higher level for 6 link, and then just roll low mods, or you can
Eternal
also
Exalt
find a
for
strong
low
box.
mods.
You can also
Oh no. You can get it from the strong box with +1
That's what I'm
socket
saying,
in
yeah.
low level content, and
Exactly.
now with the masters, I don't think they changed this. You can grab like a eye level 1 or 2 gold ring from dropping from Hillock and go to the masters and make it 4-link. Like it doesn't matter anymore. So you can do that
They
with,
don't care about
with
eye
a eye
level?
level 36. No, they don't. I'm pretty sure
Wow.
they haven't changed that. So you can have a
Yeah,
level
so
36
insane.
item or chest, then go to the master and 6-socket it.
Yeah.
So that would be the
Oh,
easiest.
that's legit.
So some people do
Yeah.
farm like
That's a big deal.
Nightmare Mudflats, which is eye level 35 or 6, and they're looking for strong boxes, and they roll until they get like +1 sockets on like armors and stuff, and then you can get a 6 socket level 35 PvP chest, which is perfect.
What other questions we got?
I got another PvP question for Greendude and Willy. From Strict9, he asks, what is the best way to trade for PvP gear in general, since we've been talking about that?
Well, maybe not right now because apparently the server's being attacked, but PoE Arena has an entire section for trading. It works exactly like pathofexile.com, where you make a shop thread and you can literally copy paste your items. We have a program that sort of shows it up like POEXYZ, you know, like it kind of like makes up the item for you. So we have that too, so you can actually link your items on our website and people just trade there, so you know that the gear there is purposely for PvP. So yeah, that's a really good place to go.
That's a great
Do
idea.
you have it
Also.
set up like the website, like the PoE website, where it actually links and says verified and things like that?
Yeah, exactly. It was actually the programming behind this feature on our website was actually from our good friend Will, the Twitch engineer. He's really involved with PoE, and he decided to code in that thing for us. So he's a good guy.
So not only has
Shout
he
out
helped
to
out the podcast, he's helped out PoE Arena. Will, you're the fucking man.
Yeah,
What a bro.
a lot of
Will,
people.
we love you. We love you.
I heard you even subbed to Mano.
It's Will. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you even subbed to you.
Yeah, I have Twitch in my pockets now, so. So
Sorry, I got to know.
Oh, that's why he has the massive webcam on the Q&A, by the way, guys.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I took him off. I put a much better picture up there.
There's also again, I didn't get the name. I'm sorry. Are you planning on opening up any kind of events for the temporary leagues, like the ladder leagues? The answer is no. There's just not enough people right now, and also a good reason to PvP is because you have all that currency in the permanent leagues that you never use. So I feel like PvP is like a great thing to do in the permanent leagues. So I think ladders should remain just kind of PvE, and perma should be PvP. I don't think we'd get
Yeah,
enough.
I think a lot of people would fall off because they wouldn't be encouraged to refine a lot of gear. It's just
Yeah.
so much more extra work.
Every
Exactly.
single time.
Also, when the leagues merge, like when the ladder league turns into the because a lot of people will actually shop for LLD items in the ladder leagues because they're really cheap. People are selling them. They don't realize that it's good PvP gear. And so
Yeah.
when the leagues merge, it's like Christmas for PvPers. All the good stuff you've been collecting, you can finally actually use
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So, yeah.
It's true.
Oh, what else we got here?
All right. I would love to stay, but I do have to go. I was supposed to go earlier to Chuck E. Cheese for my friend's 21st for some unknown reason at 3 o'clock p.m. But
So
I
stupid.
told her that at 7 I would be there. So I have to go to Chuck E. Cheese's house, or Chuck E. Cheese. So I will catch you guys later. I don't know what exactly I'm doing, but thanks again. I'm going to leave the webcam on, right?
Yeah, no, you know what? I'll just put Mano over you. You can go. Goodbye.
Wow.
Goodbye, Pohx.
try to be big.
You've
Yeah.
Have a good
been
night,
voted
Pohx.
off.
Yeah, replaced.
You've
Have a
been
good
voted
one.
off the
Ball pit.
island.
Peace out, dude.
He's been voted off the island.
Yeah, I want to be
Pohx.
normal size.
Weakest link.
Is it
Too much
awkward
pressure.
seeing you? It's too much pressure here.
Man, I
Here's
can't
another
handle the
one at
pressure.
a time.
Oh.
Add Greendude and Willy. What are some effective cast on death or cast when damage taken setups for PvP?
Ooh.
Cast when damage taken doesn't actually work. It's level 31. But maybe
Rip.
I can let Willy theorize about the cast on death in PvP.
Oh man, I haven't really thought about it that much, but I guess you could do what we were talking about earlier with the pots, getting those charges, and do cast on death discharge. Because you can get free charges by using those pots, and you could also use like Ice Spear, Power Charge on crit. You can use Enduring Cry as well to make sure you get max stacks. But this would only be viable for team play. But there are other people using, for example, Cast When Stunned, Frost Wall, just to separate yourself from the other opponent. I think the Raiding Spirit guy was doing this, and his Raiding Spirits, I believe, would fly over the Frost Wall. So he could just stay at a safe distance by using that. And you can use like Cast on Stun, Freeze Pulse, or, a little bit extra damage. Yeah.
Cast
Cast
on
when damage
Stun.
taken doesn't work. Cast on Death is only team play.
Yeah, like some people will go stun immunity, whereas some people will like make sure that they can. Mad. Some people will try to really work off of those stuns, actually make it work in your favor. For example, if you use Cast on Stunned Frost Wall, the Frost Wall will always spawn in a way that it'll split the two players apart from each other. So if you're getting meleeed, it'll always push the melee backwards. So it's a really good effective use there. And yeah. Oh yeah,
I got another
guess we
question.
should... Sorry.
Yeah, just mention. Go ahead. I'll take it after.
Yeah, I just want to say, because it was unclear there, but if you use Cast on Death build, it has to be teams. Like on a 1v1, the first person to die automatically wins. So just to make that clear, if you kill the person after they killed you, it doesn't count.
Yeah, at Willy from the Nor, you mentioned running Animate Weapon on your Summon Raiding Spirits build. Are you not afraid of the totem animating 6 sockets, or God forbid, 6 links? Not really. It's probably worth. And if you pay attention, you might be able to remove it before it actually takes the weapon. But I think it's worth it. But I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know if it's actually good. You wouldn't require like two 5 links or 2 6 links to get the setup. But losing a 6 socket every now and then, not too worried, honestly. It would have to be a good item level anyway. So I would vendor almost any 5 link or 6 socket weapon unless it's 77.
Well, you won't be able to if it keeps animating them. Oh!
Yeah.
Pretty much. Do we have any other questions?
Am I a robot? Exterminate.
We certainly do have some more questions. I'm going to ask this one, but I don't know if I should, but 7he419 asks, at all, how would you get your girlfriend or a significant other, I'm guessing, to play PoE? How
Well,
would you get your significant other into PoE?
yours is already
Any
into
experience?
Just ask. I don't know.
What's a girlfriend? First of all, I need to lay down some basics here.
it. We met your girl. Man, what are you talking about? We met your girlfriend on Friday. Ayo.
Wow,
Jamie?
that was very mean. Awkward. Okay, move on, guys.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I guess I'll try and give some actual advice here, then I'll take it pseudo seriously. I did get Amy into playing PoE, and I guess just talking with them about it and sharing where you're interested in it, like try and communicate it in a way that someone who knows nothing about the game will understand, but talk about, I did this cool thing, or this cool thing happened. And otherwise, actually, like playing with them and making a very concerted effort to play at their pace. If you regularly play and then someone new gets in, like, you'll have to really stop yourself from playing fast. So make a very big effort to play at their pace. That's probably the best thing you can do. It's difficult, but it's well worth it. It's worthwhile. So definitely put that effort in.
You could also try some positive reinforcement, like whenever they're watching you play, or they ask about it. You give them a treat, and if they try it, continue giving them a treat whenever they're playing.
Yes, we get like a Pavlovian response going on there. That's perfect.
So edgy, man. Can we get some real questions?
That was a real question. What are you talking about? I thought that was a legit question.
I think-
Getting your partner into a game that you're into is like really enhances the experience and good for the community. So that is a legit question. Don't you dare demean that question. All right, this is a question. I don't know who this one came from, but at all. Do you feel that the Beyond mobs are still overtuned? Too much HP, too much damage, damn ice storm calls, or are the Beyond mobs just right? What do you guys think?
Nah, just got to get good and make sure you have enough resists. You should be fine. don't neglect your armor values, and honestly, you shouldn't have any problems getting those extra potion nodes, making them more effective. They can't, unless they can one shot you. You should be fine. But yeah, there is a challenge there, but you just gotta compensate for it, and yeah.
The only thing I think that needs to be tuned is tornado shot on those mobs. If they hit it right in the sweep spot, oh my god, the damage is real.
It's scary. The shotgunning
but
potential
with
is
armor,
enormous.
Yeah, you're right, Willie. But in a damage mod map,
well, it's your fault for going in there, so you shouldn't take that risk.
That's true.
The only thing I don't like about it sometimes is I'm playing only melee, right? So what'll happen is they'll have a slow aura, and then they'll do the storm calls or the ice novas that come out of the ground. And the slow aura negates the skill that it takes to micro your character around those ice novas or those storm calls. And it kind of feels lame because I'm paying attention to this mechanic. I'm manually dodging it, and now I'm getting punished by these mobs that every single champion mob has a slow aura on it. And it's kind of annoying, but when you do enough damage, you can power through it. But it's just one of those things where you wish that you'd be semi-rewarded for microing your character correctly, but it's not a big deal. I can just power through it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, anti-skill is like one of the worst things for games like this, and that's definitely a good example of anti-skill. I think is the slow aura. I also think the degen aura is a bit anti-skill too. It's just a gear check. It's like a pure gear check. So I would like them to be more skill. I like the Stormcores. I like the freeze mines. Those are awesome. Those are all skill-based challenges. The Unrighteous Fire Flame Surge, bit iffy. I don't know. I think that's more of a gear check. But the slow aura and the degen aura are definitely just gear checks.
Yeah, I'm carrying a ruby around, and a eternal an eternal flask that has a very strong like a ticking heal, not an instant, just for the degen and the spiky fire damage off those mobs, and it seems to do the trick. I don't have any trouble with it now.
You know what I think we should do? Always do like a featured hideout like I have right now. Just every single podcast, just have someone's legit hideout up. Just for fun.
For the
Q&A,
not
just one.
Yeah, like an afterward, here's the cool hideout of the week. Like I saw this one and read, I was like, that is going on the podcast. During joke.
There's so many good hideouts there, and you put the one that's just a donger face.
Absolutely.
Zeno. Simple man of
Great.
pleasures.
Question here. What's better fifth link for Raiding Spirits, increased speed and damage, blah, blah, blah. The best links is Raiding Spirits, Echo, melee physical damage, and what's it called? Multi-strike, melee splash, and then for your last link, you would want Empower or minion damage. So that's the best links. There you have it. Okay, at Greendude. From Unsung Cesspool, after playing PoE so much, after all this time, what mechanics have you taken from PvP that has made you a better player in the PvE aspect of the game?
That's a tough question. It's a good question. Something that I've taken from PvP, I don't know. I think
having
in PvP
the right
movement,
pots, maybe.
Oh yeah, the pots, yeah, they're very specific to PvP though. But yeah, I think pot management, movement, and shift clicking are like godly skills you need to have for PvP, and I think the reflexes carry over to PvE. Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. Movement, like if you're using a melee character, I feel like Smoke Mine is like absolutely necessary in both PvP and PvE, especially now that we have strong boxes. And I saw myself actually using Smoke Mine a lot more in PvE, even for other content than just strong boxes. So yeah, that's a good question.
I'm sure there'd be some mechanical carryover there with like the ability to position your character correctly, and like obviously it doesn't translate over directly, but just better control of your character I'm sure would carry.
Yeah, and understanding desync a little more, and yeah.
Yeah.
Can we post the questions in the primer, because I don't have permission for this document? Just post them at the bottom or something.
Sure, I'll copy paste.
I want
We
to
should just
partake.
use this from now on. Poor Willie. He just wants to have fun, man.
Confirm
wanna
really
be
wanting to
part of it.
partake.
There's a question here from Calderin.
Sweet.
anyone know how to find people to play with in LLD because no one uses the queue? Yeah, so the queue system is terrible because,
Yeah.
first of all, there's not enough people to always populate the queue. So you can actually wait a long time, and by the time you find someone, it'll just be someone that was queuing to troll. So it won't be a fun match. I think the best way to find people is just you can sign up on the website, PoE Arena, or go in the PvP feedback section. The PvP feedback section has just as many people as well. They check both sites. You can just post and say like literally, "Hi, I'm looking for friends to PvP, and this is my league and account name," and people will add you. You can also join guilds. Guilds will really help you. Even myself and Willie, we have a guild that we're trying to. It's not just PvP, but we're trying to take on some PvP guys, PvP enthusiasts, and maybe get a team for the team's tournament. We'll see, but yeah, there's the resources are out there. It's just people have to like go read or go post. Everything's in the PvP guide.
All right, at Willy from Random Gold Farmer, why is melee damage on full life not used for some raiding spirits? Because melee physical damage gives you exactly the same bonus, if not maybe a little bit, just a teeny bit more. I can't remember. And once you have that, all the other gems are required. So, why not just use melee physical damage and get the same bonus all the time? That's easily sums that up. At Ziggy, how is it to sustain power charges without power charge on crit with your Cyclone character?
To be honest,
That was
I
Red
was using Assassin's Mark to try and go for 4 power charges, and when you're clearing very fast, you get 4 power charges all the time.
Mhm.
When you're clearing very fast, you don't need 4 power charges all the time. So it was kind of useless. I switched to power charge on crit. That's the answer. I'm now running
I
power
didn't
charge
like
on
it
crit.
either.
I spec for an extra power charge, and it's way better. It's way better. So
Power charge on crit is
yeah.
so underrated. It's so freaking underrated.
Yeah, I mean, I dropped PS. As much as I was raving about PS as a support gem for Tornado Shot, I dropped PS. Even though I'm using a drill neck, I dropped PS. It was worth it to run power charge on crit for that. So yeah, that's that answer. The Assassin's Mark is
Alright.
not good enough to sustain. It's just a bonus.
Yep.
Question at all. Do you feel that the Beyond mobs are still overtuned? Oh wait, this is an old one. Yeah, my bad.
an old one.
Are we going from the bottom?
Yep. Yep.
Alright, at Golden Trout 5 at all. Hey everyone! Current solo play aspect of PoE. From what I've seen, without trading, you're almost exempt from high-end crafting.
Yeah, you're pretty much going to be exempt from high-end crafting if you don't trade. I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
But you can totally survive the game. I mean, I guess I don't trade actually, so I can't really say that. But I spend most of my time doing maps solo and everything else solo. But if you're not trading, you might be at a disadvantage. But the masters have helped solo so much. Like I have so many rings that I've found myself that I just put like an extra mod on with the craft, and it makes the ring so useful and godly. And before I would be able to do that, and I feel like they've helped my character a lot. So
Agreed. I mean, you think about it, like, I don't know, just how many times have you said this would be good if? That's what the masters have trumped. All that mid-tier crafting you needed done, it's there. I mean, it's been discussed multiple times. Use your masters. Don't buy crazy stuff online. Use your
I don't
damn
sell
masters.
anything.
Yeah.
I don't sell any like low tier items anymore. Like life double resist. Everybody's just doing their own stuff now. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I have my shop up and everything, and it's all set up properly. So
I disagree. I've been selling heaps this league, probably more than ever. I'm having a really good time identifying potential loot and then making a decision whether I mastercraft it and sell it. Because when you're doing that, you're owning the risk of the item. There's a risk tagged with every item. Every item has their own risk associated with it, and if you mastercraft it, you're owning that risk. But if the potential payout of that item being found, and it makes them a lot easier to find if it already has that crafted, is worth it, then you'd make that decision. Otherwise, you sell it as a much cheaper item than what you would have sold it previously. Like I sell a lot of 1-2 chaos items that have an open slot, or maybe even a little bit more that have an open slot for them if they're like an item with a lot of potential. But are too niche, I won't craft it. So it's changed the crafting and trading meta a lot. But I think I'm actually selling more now that I'm starting to understand this process. And I think there are people out there with way better understanding of this than me that I reckon are probably making a killing off trading with the new crafting systems and everything.
So, any more questions?
Well,
Yeah, I think we
somebody
got a few more.
mentioned why I should use melee damage on full life instead, because it actually boosts the fire damage of Radiant Spirits too. I guess it just comes down to they will take some damage, and if there's some kind of AoE, they're gonna hit all of them, and that's so much DPS lost that you're better off just using melee physical damage. But I don't know. I'll try both. It's a good point you make. All right, I'll take another question here. Ezvalda, question at all? Do you feel the meta is shifting more towards higher life DPS builds? Example, ZiggyD stated
life.
he wanted more crit rather than life nodes. Do you guys think more decisions and more builds will have overall lower life?
Yeah,
I agree.
Everyone was saying, "Oh, 150%, 150% hardcore minimum." Now everyone's like, maybe 140 is fine because you need to kill these. I feel that like in a league where you're gonna get one shot anyways, screw it, go more damage. I mean, don't scrap on the life, but I feel like you never have enough damage in this league.
Depends a little bit on your build.
Summon
Like when I was playing Ice Spear, I really had to invest a lot of my passives into life nodes and armor in the beginning, and I was struggling with damage. But as soon as I got higher level, and you do get more life per level now, you know, my life started to scale, and I was able to invest into more damage. The damage comes a little bit more late game now, I feel, than it used to.
That's a really good point. I expect much more defensive at lower levels, but then as I started leveling and get that life scaling, I was able to drop some life nodes and stuff, and you know, still have decent survivability and go for more damage. That's a really good point, for sure.
Crit nodes are too tasty for me. I say, damage can be survivability sometimes, and I always look at those crit nodes and I add them up. It's like, I want that. I'm gonna get that right now, and then I go for it. So when you kill stuff before it can kill you, it helps a little bit, but I just love it.
It's more fun overall. I like this change, this shift towards a more DPS focus. The game feels a lot more fun this way. So I mean, I probably could have experienced this a little bit more in the past, but you know, I played what I was comfortable with before. But this is certainly more fun. So I'm having a good time with it.
I don't think anybody would expect you to, you know, this is probably like the least survivable spec you've played and you're still alive, the only one who hasn't died yet. But
yeah, I've got like 4.1k life, a pure evasion character, lightning coil.
You're running like Val
Grace,
Grace, like yeah.
I do run Val Grace, yeah.
He is running all
You should get
survival.
Val
I feel like
bro.
it is there.
Damn right.
The
Get
Val
that
Haste
Val
is
Haste.
useless. I'm not an attack speed build. I'm a one-shot build.
Always
No point for attack speed.
Okay, bro.
But,
All right. Frugimondo. That's Ziggy.
I'm still
Please take up the
defensive,
trade
yeah.
problem. Am I muted? What's going on?
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
ZiggyD, please take up the trade problem on PoE. Trade chat doesn't work good. GGG needs to add real trade device like PoXYZ, but in the game. I don't know. Would they do that? I feel like PoXYZ is so good already.
They've already
It's hard to-
confirmed that there's something in the works for it. Here's kind of the rundown of what I've got from Rory and Chris so far. Is that the system they want to implement is browsable stash tabs that will work both offline and online in the game. It will not be a buyout system where you put up an item, put up a buyout, and then someone can buy it automatically. What will happen is the other player is able to browse your stash tabs, so there'll probably be the PoE style search of some description to be able to search people's stash tabs, or maybe it'll just be public available stash tabs, and then some other sites like PoXYZ will utilize it. But the idea is that you'll see these items, you can make an offer on that item, so you'd be like, I want that for 3 exalts. The other player must either check on their browser, so they're at work, they check on their browser, or they log into game and check in game. They see this 3 exalt offer, they're like, 3.5 would be better. The other person goes back, or they accept the 3 exalt offer, and then they go, okay, cool. And then the trade occurs. And the trade should be able to occur to the players without the players having to get in the same instance and stuff. So it'll be a hell of a lot easier, but it will still be a haggling barter-based system.
No, I
So
feel kind of bad about that because if you're a streamer and someone knows your account, they're going to check your stuff before they check anybody else's. And the streamer advantage off of something like that is going to be extremely huge because they'll go straight to your stash. That's the item I want. I'm not going to look at anybody else's stash. I got it right there. Boom, sale. Boom, boom, boom. I'll wake up in the morning. Anybody with a huge following will wake up in the morning and have a ton of trades available to them. And I feel like it's kind of I feel kind of bad about it, you know.
It will be one step closer to an auction house. I mean, it's still not an auction house, and that's what they don't want. But I think there are definitely a lot of complaints out there about the trade system. So I think it is something that they need to do, just for the vast majority of people. Even though streamers will get more of an advantage from it, that's always going to be the case. You can't help it. I counteract it by bird dealing people as much as I can, but it's up to the streamer how they deal with that. But I'm noticing a lot of drama in chat. Someone's like, "No, Ziggy, you're not supposed to tell anyone." This was publicly made available info months ago.
Yeah.
It is not 100% confirmed. I should say that it's not 100% confirmed that this system will ever be implemented or that it will be implemented. Like I said, this is just what the devs have said in the past. Yeah. So it could change.
Speaking of, we're coming down on the end of the wire here. Over the next 20 minutes, you cool with doing the giveaway, guys? Yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so before we go ahead and give out some free microtransactions donated by GGG, I want to say next episode we have Carl and Rory coming on, the devs, the masterminds behind the passive skill tree, the skill gems, balance, things like that. All those questions you've been wanting answered, they're here for you. So come on, tune in for episode 15. They will also be camming. Hopefully we will have it a little bit more smooth where Pohx doesn't have to go to Chuck E. Cheese and Boy Puddle doesn't replace him, But that's okay.
What are you talking about? That's Pohx.
No, I changed it. It's Boy Puddle. You can look on the...
All right. Nice.
So, and then episode 16 we have two fairly new streamers. We have Angry AA and Gazzy. They play summoners completely different ways. They love the summoner meta, and they've made it work without snapshotting. So this is great.